Hello, I'm John Hartledge, and welcome to Let's Chat Wine 2.0. As you can see, I've got a brand new set, and I'm going to show you physically how much room I have, and at the same time show you how excited I am with that physicality. Here we go. Find your spot. Come on, Johnny. Not bad, but see, I could even jump back. I stayed in the center, but I jumped back and I'm still not hitting anything. Now, I won't use that space all the time, but you know how I get. I talk a little bit like this. Notice the depth. Today we're going to talk about a wine from Lodi, California. A Cabernet Sauvignon, because Cabernet Sauvignon is just fun. And sometimes you got to pick wine just because it's fun. So here we are, Let's Chat Wine 2.0, bringing you excellent wine, targeted information, a little bit of entertainment, something I like to call wine-fotainment, as we talk about cult Cabernet Sauvignon, and as we grow our very distinct and fun-loving cult of wine lovers. Let's chat wine. Okay, Cabernet Sauvignon from Lodi, California. Now, the Cult Wine Company does make a couple other Cabernets. They also make a Sauvignon Blanc. This one was of note to me because from Lodi, California, you're a good bit inland in California. You're not so close to the coast. It's going to be hot. And with hot temperatures, you get a lot of ripening. You get huge black fruit. And typically, that's what happens in Lodi with the Cabernets, with the Zins, with the Syrahs. In this case, at this point of tasting this vintage, there was this real nice kind of red berry, just a little bit different profile. And I really wanted to highlight this one. They have moved into the 2019 vintage. And what happens with wine, when a producer first releases a new vintage, it's going to be slightly different. So this is not like, like Matchbox or some kind of a factory kind of production when you're dealing with more artisanal and created, specific wines and more distinctive wines. You are going to have variation from year to year, and sometimes you just have to wait out the new one, but it will be different. So don't let that throw you when you find, oh, this is my favorite wine. Wait, why does this bottle taste different? Just because the year's different. It will, because it has time in the bottle to mature, and when they're first put in the bottle, they're just a little young. So let's get started. Let's get some glassware. I'm going to go with, of course, my standard. Love Let's Chat Wine glass. And you know what? I love this shape of glass. I know it's a little more of a Burgundian kind of Pinot Noir kind of shape, but it also accommodates my more prominent feature of my proboscis. That also helps me with the smells, you know that. But now you can also use the stemless. Now the challenge with a stemless wine glass is that your hand is in contact. It's going to be warming up that wine, but you can also use that too. Well, let's start with the capsule. Now, I like this wine opener. It's sturdy, it's heavy. I'm gonna pull one from underneath just to show you. This has like just a fun little spring action, which I'm gonna show you because I kind of prefer the spring action when you're in it, but we'll start with this. Now, I know it's fancy to go right under the ridge and do your whole thing with the part of the capsule, but these capsules can be made of so many different materials. Sometimes if there's tin, it can be very sharp. So a lot of times I just pull the capsule right off, especially if I'm at home. I'm not there to impress anyone. Better safe than sorry, okay? Now, I can see that we have a cork that is a composite cork. So this isn't allowing breathing per se, but sometimes they're a little tough without that hinge. So now I'm gonna change. So it doesn't have the hinge. It's a beautiful wine opener, but let's go to this one here, and I'm gonna show you how the hinge works. So let's get that right in there. There we go. See, I got it nice and perpendicular, then I start letting the corkscrew do the work. I get down there pretty good. And here, see where it's got two pieces there? Watch. Oh, that's great. So now we're gonna be able to go just a little bit. Now I can use the main implement down the bottom. Comes right up. Don't pop it off, just ease it off. No need to shock the vino. Okay, I smell it no matter what. I know it's not a real cork, but I smell it regardless. So now, the other reason why I brought two glasses, I'm gonna try a little without aeration and a little with aeration. So here's without aeration. Aeration, oxidation, like if you put it into a carafe, or if you use a fancy little aerator like I found here. This is beautiful, it's called the Ventorio. Now in the last season, I used the Venturi quite a bit. So like the Venturi, you have Bernoulli's principle. I love this principle. You actually have, as wine is pouring through the vessel, it's pulling air right into the wine. So you're oxidizing, much like, let me pull out from my magic underspot, I have shelves now, as if you were doing a carafe. You do a carafe and you tilt it and you pour wine down it very slowly, you are creating a little surface area contact with air. But this is actually infusing air into the wine. Now the challenge with the Venturi, which I love, because it beautifully infuses air, is that you're holding the Venturi or you're putting on a little stand over the one glass. In this case, the Ventorio, I love that name, it's so musical. Ventorio, Ventorio. The Ventorio right on the bottle. And there's the air holes, so it's going to infuse. So now we do one aerated. And notice a little bit of gurgling, there's a little bubble there, it's because the oxygen has gone in it. Now, let me take a little taste. Unaerated. Yeah, a little bit tight. Nice fruit, good expression, but it does kind of dry my palate out. The tannic acid. We want to soften that acid. Now let's taste it. Oh, there's some nice notes on the finish though, even without being aerated. This is a beautifully expressed Cabernet. And if you look for this one, like I say, you will most likely find the 2019. But if you use an aerator, that 2019 is going to aerate and give you some of the same beautiful aspects the 2017 is giving. Now, a lot of winemakers are using these other wine sealers and corks, different kinds of corks, even twist-off tops, because they're making wine to be ready upon release, pour it in the glass, enjoy it, don't necessarily lay it down. This is one of those wines. It's not necessarily going to be improving over years in a wine cellar. It will gradually soften over time, but most of the time, they're trying to just make a consistent product that you can count on. Now, in this case, the difference is vintage difference. 2017 wasn't exactly like 2019 as far as weather, as far as temperature. Those things are affecting wines as we go. But with aeration, you can really find almost a nice happy medium. But I gotta tell you, the 2017 with that little bit of red berry, called Cabernet at this price point, this is a wine you can trust. And I gotta tell you, excellent, excellent, excellent. So here we are, we're off and running into Let's Chat Wine 2.0, and I think we started off great. Come see me again, and let's chat wine.